Okay, so here we see how to start a TTouch session with a bird. Now, with Angel here, Angel's just come in and she's a little bit nervous of people. And so I'm just starting with a feather to initiate some contact with her. If she was really nervous, what I would do would be to start by stroking the perch. And this is just a normal quill feather. Some birds prefer different colours. As you can see, Angel's quite fascinated by the colour of this one, so sometimes it can be interesting to try maybe a colour of the same kind, maybe a white feather for Angel. If you're working with parrots, again it can be really useful to have different coloured feathers and just experiment. Sometimes white feathers can be a bit dazzling for birds, so again that can be something useful just to see what happens. You don't really want to use a white one if it's going to cause them to be startled by it. Okay, so she's showing a slight concern here, so I'm coming in and just doing some long, gentle strokes with the feather, and then coming away and giving her a few moments to process it. Now I often find that if you can initiate natural behaviour, especially preening, which Angel is showing quite perfectly now, I believe that can reduce stress. Often you find a lot of birds, especially with pigeons, when in a stressful situation, apart from in a predatory situation, but when they're stressed, will often preen. For example, after mating, I think mating can be quite a stressful experience for a bird, and afterwards, often they show like a ritualised preening behaviour, which I believe by using the feather in places such as under the wings or on the breast, you can actually cause them to start to preen, and show this natural behaviour like the wing stretching, which again helps to reduce their stress levels and helps to calm them down. Now when working with birds, it's important to give them lots of breaks, lots of time to process. If you're trying to do too much with them at once, you can actually really flood them, and then it can be not as beneficial as it could be if you give them lots of breaks. So I'm using the tip of the feather to actually come in behind the head, under the feathers, and doing some little 1 1/4 TTouch circles. I hope you can see that, with the tip of the feather around the back of the head. We can then use the feather to come under the wings. And notice how I'm doing long sweeping strokes. And when I do the strokes, sorry, it's really hard to do both the filming and the TTouch at the same time, so sorry if it's a bit out of shot at times. Notice how I'm moving my whole arm rather than just my finger. This gives a much more fluid and a softer movement for her. And again, we give her a few moments to have a break. And again, notice how when you stop, she has a break. She then shows some more natural behaviour like the wing stretching. And then we'll come back in and do a few more strokes with the feather. Now there are other tools that we can use, such as paintbrushes, but I'm not going to show that right away now with Angel because at the moment we have just started with the feather, but that's something that we can show another time. Using TTouch and using the feathers and other tools can be really useful for calming stressed birds, particularly those that have come in to rescue, such as Angel here. And it allows you a way for you to bond with your bird without it becoming too dependent, and it helps to improve self-confidence and helps them to gain trust in you without being too dependent. Right, so we'll leave that for now because I think Angel's had enough, but I hope you found this useful.